Konnichiwa. Maybe I'll just talk without a microphone. So thanks for coming this morning. So what I'll try to do over the next hour is give you a picture of where I think rugby's going, and then try to specifically talk about my ideas about coaching kids, and then you must have a lot of questions. So if you want to be a good coach, and you've come here today because you want to be a good coach, then you've got to be curious. You've got to ask questions. Because good coaches don't know a lot. Like at 62, I'm still trying to become a good coach. So you're always got to be looking to see how you can improve. Sorry, Terry.
That's right. 今日はありがとうございます。今日話す内容も1時間ぐらい話そうと思いますけれども、これからラグビーがどの道にたどっているのか少し話したいと思います。あと皆さん子どもたちとかコーチしていると思いますけれども、私だって、60になってますけれども、いろいろまだ学んでいると。なのでいいコーチになりたいのであれば、いろいろ学びたい気持ちを、向上してやっていきたいとやってください。よろしくお願いします。
Okay, so if I can see who coaches under 10s?
10歳以下コーチしてる人。
大変ね。大変。10歳から16歳まで。
10歳から16歳コーチしてるコーチ。
Okay. So 16歳上。
16歳以上は。
One. Where do you coach at? Here. Okay. So we've got a good mix here.
いろいろなミックスがあっていいですね。
So please ask questions, guys.
いろいろな質問をいつでも聞いてください。
So you're not allowed to leave the room until you ask a question.
一人一つ質問するまで部屋出たらいけません。
So if you're here till Christmas, that's your fault, not
ク
my
リスマス
fault.
にいるんだったらあなたたちのせいですよ。
Okay, so rugby's the most fascinating game in the world.
ラグビーはこの世界一のスポーツですね。
The reason it's most fascinating is you don't know how you can win.
それはなぜならどうやって勝てばいいのかっていうのはわからないからです。
Because we have so many different contests.
いろいろな争いがあるから。
So we have set piece contests.
セットピースから。
We have breakdown
ブレイクダウ
contests.
ンのコンテストから。
We have a phase
フ
contest.
ェーズのコンテスト。
And now we have aerial contest.
あと空中戦もありますね。
And what you've got to teach your kids
子供たちに教えないといけないのは
is to be good in contests.
そこのコンテストをうまくやらないといけない。
Because when they come down here, when they come down to the ground,
ここにグラウンドに来た時に
they all want the ball, don't they?
子供たちはみんなボールが欲しがりますよね。
Everyone wants to touch the
みんな
ball.
がボールを触りたい。
Everyone wants to touch the ball. So I'm sure those kids there, you love touching the
子
ball.
供たちもボールを触りたいのは大好きなんでしょうね。
So to touch the ball, to get the ball, you have to win contests.
でボールをもらうためにはそのコンテストに勝たないといけない。
So that sounds really easy.
そこが簡単にはなると思います。
But the hard thing is how you coach it.
それをどうやってコーチするのが一番難しいところです。
So again, I'm going to share what I've learned over the last period of time with you,
私が今まで学んできたことを教えていきたいと思います。
which will give you an idea of where I think rugby's going.
で、ラグビーがどこに動いているのかっていうの
And then we'll
を
talk about coaching kids.
で、子どもたちのコーチについて話したいと思います。
So, the first thing you need to understand when you're coaching rugby, you need to have a model of the game.
まず最初にコーチするときにゲームのモデルっていうものはイメージしないといけないです。
You need to have an idea in your head of what the game's about.
頭の中でゲームっていうものは何かっていうのをイメージしないといけないです。
So you need to understand how for your team to play the best rugby you can.
自分のチームとして何をすれば一番いいゲームができるのかっていうのを考えないといけない。
You need to understand the strengths of your players.
自分の選手それぞれの選手たちの強みを分からないといけないです。
What are your players good at?
各選手は何が上手なのか。
So for instance,
例えば
I've coached South Africa.
南アフリカをコーチしました私は。
South African players like to hit.
南アフリカっていうのは体当たりが好きです。
They like to tackle.
タックルが大好きです。
They don't want the ball.
ボールは欲しくないんです。
They want to kick and hit the opposition.
オポジションに対してボールを蹴る。
So when you're coaching South African players, you want to be coaching a defensive game model.
だから南アフリカの選手たちをコーチするときにディフェンシブモデルをコーチしないといけないです。
So in Japan in 2015,
日本の2015年、
we wanted to coach a team that played with speed.
日本代表はスピードのあるチーム
We
をコー
wanted
チ
a
した。
team that played with skill.
スキルのあるチーム。
And we wanted a team that played low to the ground.
グラウンド低いプレーをコーチした。
Because the first game we were playing against South Africa and they're up here.
まず最初の第一ゲームが南アフリカで彼らたちのレベルここです。
So what you've got to understand when you're coaching kids
子供たちをコーチするときに理解
is
して
to
いくのは
understand for each player what their strength can be.
それぞれの選手たちの強みが何かであるっていうのを考えないといけない。
So if you've got a little team,
ちっちゃいチームであれ
you've got to
ば
understand how they can play the game most effectively.
一番よくゲームをどうやって効率よくできるのかっていうのを考えない。
Because every player can be effective in rugby.
それぞれ一人一人の選手はみんなエフェクティブであると思われます。
So if I look at, again, Japan
だから
2015,
2015年振り返ってみますと、
two of the most important players we had
2人の一番、トップの2人の選手は
was Cuban, Fumi Tanaka.
田中文9番。
So if you can stand up.
ちょっと立ってくださ
Sorry, what's your name?
い。
Neve.
Leave.
Neve.
Leave.
Neve. And
Okay, Neve. So Neve's taller than Fumi.
ニーブさんは文より背が高いです。
Hondo. So, and Fumi played Super Rugby in New
文
Zealand
はニュー
at
ジ
the
ーランド
highest
スーパーラグビー
level.
の一番高いレベルでやってました。
And then he played magnificently at the World Cup in 2015.
2015年のワールドカップで素晴らしいプレーしてました。
But he had to be quick,
でも速くなっちゃいけない。
he had to be smart, and he had to be really fit.
スマートで体力のある、プレーをしなくちゃいけない。
But then we had a guy like Hesketh, who was the opposite.
でヘスケス選手はその逆でした。
He was a big
で
guy,
っかい
no brains,
頭悪
Adamawarui, but power.
くてでもパワーがありました。
And he scored the winning try
で
for us.
ウィニングプレーを決めました。
So then you've got to understand the strengths of each player,
それぞれの選
and
手
then
を
you've got to try to put them together into a team that can play collectively.
チームにしないといけないです。
So particularly when you're coaching kids, you've got to understand the individual strength of a player,
特に子供たちのコーチするときにはそれぞ
and
れ
then
の選手
find a
たち
way to put them together to play a collective game.
団結して、一つのチームになれるようにコーチしないといけないです。
So a question I have for you.
質問あります。
So that I'm going to give you 30 seconds to answer this
30秒答え
question.
られるようにしてください。
So the team you're coaching,
今、あなたたちがコーチしているチーム。
what are the three words that describe your
チ
team?
ームを表現する3つの言葉は何でしょうか。
What are the three words that describe your
あ
team?
なたたちのチームを表現する3つの言葉。
So you can write it down or write it in your head.
書いていただくか覚えてください。
So 30 seconds.
30秒お願いします。考えてみてください。
I'm going to ask about 3 or 4 people
3、4人聞きます
to
か。
share their 3 words.
教えてください。
Okay, let's come back together.
じゃあまとまって、
Someone in the back corner.
後ろの角の方。
Athletic, energetic, inexperienced.
元気いっぱい、未経験、
Okay.
Inexperienced.
inexperience ね、経験がない。
Okay, good. Someone at the front?
前の方で。
一つ目はやっぱ真面目です。真面目です。
真面目で、serious,
はい。でも、ちょっと引っ込み思案。
but they bit introverted,
で、真面目と同じですけど、向上心はみんなあります。
but they're curious and they're willing to learn.
Okay, good. Someone in the back corner?
個人技が高い子がいるということと、勝ちたいという気持ちがあるということと、あとは結構みんなチームでやってる。
They've got a strong feeling of wanting to win. They're very individualistic and
So the joy, individual,
Visual skills and speed to win.
spirit to win. Okay, good. Someone up the front here?
Yeah. Tall, keen,
背が高い。
and I'm gonna make this one word, missed tackles.
格闘ができない。
Defensively weak. Okay. So again, you should have a picture in your head of what your team's like.
頭の中で自分のチームがどういうものなのかっていうのをイメージ
A
がないといけ
really
ないです。
clear picture of what your team's
そのイメ
like.
ージはクリアじゃないといけない。
And that then forms your coaching
で
plan.
それが皆さんのコーチングプランにつながります。
So one of the other interesting things about coaching is coaching staffs now. Nearly everyone's got a big coaching staff.
で今選手だけじゃなくてスタッフもコーチングしないといけないです。
And even kids teams have now got more than one
で
coach.
子供のチームも一人以上のコーチがいますね。
So when I first started coaching Japan in 2012,
私が2012年に最初コーチし
I
始
had
め
one
て、
assistant coach.
私は一人のアシスタントコーチがいました。
Now at professional level, most coaches have got at least 4.
で今プロのチームだと少なくとも4人います。
Who here has got an assistant coach?
ここにアシスタントコーチいるコーチいますから。
1, 2, 3. So that presents a challenge
ここチャレンジが出てきますね。
because every time a coach speaks, you want the players to have the same message.
でそれぞれのプレイヤーには同じメッセージを伝えないといけないので難しくなってきます。
And when you've got more than one coach,
もう一人以上のコーチがいれば
the same message can sound different.
で同じメッセージがいろいろなコーチからいろいろな解釈ができてしまいます。
So for instance, I'll give an example of Suntory on the weekend.
今週末のサントリーですけど、
Suntory played Kubota on the weekend.
クボタと試合しました。
And Suntory want to go back and play their own traditional style of rugby.
サントリーは自分の伝統的なスタイルのプレーをしたがっています。
So for the previous 2 years, they've been coached by a New Zealander.
過去2年はニュージーランドの人にコーチ
They
され
wanted
てました。
Suntory to play New Zealand rugby.
でサントリーニュージーランドラグビーしてもらいたかった。
Now there's Japanese coaching and he
Right.
wants them to play Japanese
ジャ
rugby.
パニーズのコーチで日本スタイルのラグビーしても
But
らい
he's
たい。
got 4 assistant coaches.
4人のアシスタントコーチがいます。
And the message to the players has been mixed.
で選手へのメッセージがバラバラです。
They don't really understand how they want to play.
どのようにプレーすればいいのか選手たちがちょっと
So be aware when you've got more than one coach, you've got to make sure your messages are very much in sync.
一人以上のコーチがいる場合はそのメッセージが全部一つになっていないといけないというのを気をつけてください。
Again, you've got to have a strategy about how you want to play the game.
でラグビーのゲームをどのようにプレーしたいのかっていう計画を作らないといけないです
So, sorry, what was your name? The first,
名前は
Roy.
Will.
Roy.
Big Roy up the back.
ロイさん。
Who can remember what Roy said about his team?
ロイさんが言ったことを
What
覚
were
え
the
てる
3 words?
3つの言葉は何でしょう。
Inexperienced, athletic,
The one other was energetic.
energetic. Okay.
元気いいプレー。
So, what sort of game do you think Roy's team can play?
ロイのチームはどのようなゲームができると思いますか。
Could be defensive game. What do you concentrate on, Roy, with the kids?
どういうところを集中してますか。
Tempo.
Tempo. Tries to play with tempo.
テンポを気をつけてます。
So then, if you play with tempo, how do you set up your training session?
高いテンポでプレーをしたいのでどういうようなトレーニングをしてますか。
Focusing on actually getting and playing the game.
ゲームをするのに集中しています。
Try not to pull them up too much and keep stopping the game.
ゲームをいちいち止めようとはしない
So
です。
small stoppages. Yeah, good. So again, tempo means a lot of different
テン
things.
ポっていうのはいろいろな意味がありますね。
So just take 10 seconds now to think about what's your definition of tempo in rugby.
10秒かけてあなたたちのテンポっていうものの意味を考えてみてください。テンポとは何か。
Right, remember you can't leave the room until you answer the questions. So you better get in quick, guys. The questions get harder as we go along.
質問がもっと難しくなりますよ。
Okay, I'm going to come to you first. What's tempo? What's your
ま
name?
ずは
Renee. Renee's going to tell us. What's your definition of tempo?
Like playing at a pace that the children can understand and feel comfortable with.
Okay, play at a pace, yep.
友達が分かる
Good.
速さでプレーする。
Okay, who else we got here?
あと他にいますかね。
Okay, Canterbury.
じゃあ
Mr.
カンタベリさん
Canterbury.
なんでしょう。The term of switching to practice and practice. the term.
So transitional.
Yeah, transitional, yes.
Okay.
人種の木分けですね。
Okay, good, good. Not wrong. Nothing's wrong, nothing's right. Yep.
正確も不正確もないですよ。
Pass. Okay, yep.
パスのサイクル。
You. With the U. Yeah.
シンクロ同調するみんな同調する
同調っていう。synchronized play. Yeah.
Okay. So to me, it has, they're all right, all right. None of
全
them
部
are
全部
wrong.
正確です。何も間違って
Because
ない
whatever
で
you think is right,
Yes,
tempo to me is moving the ball quickly,
す。私のテンポ
being
とし
able
ては
to
ボ
move the ball
ールを
quickly.
早く回すこと。
And there's a couple of opportunities where you can increase the tempo of the game. The tempo of your attack to me is moving the ball quickly.
アタックのテンポを高めるっていうのはボールを回すことが。
To increase the tempo of the game, there's opportunities to take quick taps.
あとクイックタップを取るこ
There's
と。
opportunities to take quick lineouts.
チャンスとしてはクイックラインアウト。
So that means getting to the lineout quickly and winning it quickly.
で、それをすぐ勝ち取る。
And the other opportunity is to take quick scrums.
あとクイックスクラムを取る。
So play the ball in and out of the scrum quickly. So
Scrumから
play channel one.
出してチャンス
In and
が
out
らすぐ
quickly.
出すと。ですぐボールを
So
出す。
to me, there's two definitions of tempo.
テンポの定義は2つあると思います。
But again, with your team,
あなたたちのチームに関しては、
make sure if you're using words like tempo,
テンポっていう言葉自体を使うように、
everyone understands what you're talking about.
そういうふうに言えばみんなが何を意味しているのか分かるようにしてください。
Because as you can see in this little room here, we've got different
質
definitions
問
of
したように
tempo.
分かるように皆さんいろいろな答えがありましたので、
So imagine what's going on inside some of your players'
だから
heads.
子供たちの頭の中で何が回ってるのか分かりますよね。
And then you've got to be able to train it.
でそれを教えることが重
So
要
I'm
です。
going to go through that on the field today.
で今日実技の時に教えていきたいと思います。
We just start with that with young kids. The first thing about playing rugby is that you've got to be brilliant at the basics.
子供たちに教える時にまずは一番重要なのが基本を素晴らしくやることが一番重要です。
So again, now I'm going to give you 20 seconds.
今20
to
秒
write down what do you think the basics of the game are.
ラグビーというゲームの基本っていうものは
What are
何かっていうの
your
を
basics of the game? What are your fundamentals of the game?
ラグビーの基本とは何か。
So just have a quick think about it. Write it down or put it in your head. Right, okay.
じゃあ行きますよ。
Big fella, what's your key basic of the game?
基本は
Communication and teamwork.
Okay, so you got communication. Good. Teamwork, communication and teamwork, yep.
I was going to say catching, passing, tackling,
Right.
キャッチパス。
support play, talk.
So catch, pass, communication again.
Communication.
Can we write on this?
Yes, but absolutely.
How can we write on it?
Erase.
Okay. So we've got communication. Teamwork. Catch pass. Who else had catch pass?
他にキャッチパスあった人。
Okay, fair few. Anyone have catch pass support?
キャッチパスサポートはいますか
Good. I like you. What's your
あ
name?
なたいいですね。
Mike. Catch pass support. Good. Okay, what else do we have?
あと他にありますか？
Long hair up the back.
長い髪
I'm
の毛の
envious
人
of。you. Always wanted to have hair like that. Okay, running together. Yeah, yeah. So we'll call that movement, hey?
動きとしましょう。
Movement in synergy.
結束。
Anyone else have that? Yeah. Okay, what else? What do we got? Tackle, yeah, yeah.
Breakdown.
So contest areas, tackle,
競い合う場所。
breakdown skills.
ブレイクダウンのところのスキル。
Okay. Defense. Who had defense?
ディフェンスあ
Tackle.
った人。
Yeah, good. Breakdown
ブ
skills.
レイクダウンあった人。
Yeah, good. Do we have anything outside of that, guys?
それ以外のものありますか？
Positioning.
ポジショニング、
Okay, so might include that in movement.
ムーブメントがあります。
Okay, decision making. Yeah, well that relates to everything, doesn't it?
判断力ですか。
Sorry? Yeah.
Continuity.
Continuity.
Yeah.
継続性。
Okay, so put that over there.
こっちの方に。
So I've got contest versus continuity. Yeah. Okay, so none of that's wrong yet, Neve.
into space.
Moving the space, which is probably here.
空いてる場所を、まあ、ポジション
Continuity
で
space, yeah.
スペースがあるところに動く。
Anything else to add, guys?
その他ありますか？
Discipline. So I'll put that over there. Decision making discipline. Good. Anything else? Yeah.
Respect.
Respect.
スペット。
So I'll put that over there as well. Yeah. Anything else? Missing
その
anything?
他ありますか？
Yes. Kicking skills. Great.
Kicking skills.
Fantastic.
素晴らしい。
Running. I think we've got movement there.
走るで、ムーブメントですね。
Set piece. Yeah.
セットピース。
Right. Fantastic.
素晴らしいです。
So just my definition would be
私の定義は、
the fundamentals of the
基
game.
本は
Yeah. The attack fundamentals is catch, pass, support.
アタックはキャッチパスサポート
Your
です。
defense fundamentals
ディフェンスは
is tackling
タック
and
リ
all
ン
the things to do with
グ、それに
tackling.
関連するもの。
Then you've got your continuity
そ
skills,
の後はまあ連続性のスキ
which
ル
are、breakdown
それから
skills
ブレイクダウン、
and kicking
キ
skills.
ッキング、
And then you've got your contest skills, which are set piece,
競い合う
and
スキ
breakdown
ル、セッ
skills.
トピース、ブレイクダウン。
And these are important. Communication
コミュニケーションは
communication covers everything.
もうすべてをカバーしますね。
So tell me, who practices communication
で
and
コミュ
training?
ニケーションをトレーニングで練習する人、手を挙げてください。
Okay, how do you do it?
どうやってやるんですか？
Like when respect to decision making, whether we go to right or left, we communicate each other. Otherwise, we
Okay. Okay, so encourage the players to say left or right.
プレイヤーたちに
Who's got a different way of doing it? Yeah?
他の
They can close their eyes and then pass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I'll
good,
show you
good,
the
good,
passes.
good, yeah.
Sometimes when we do set drills, the coach will get involved and demonstrate how to call for the ball. And
Yeah.
コーチが実際に参加して事例を見せます。
Yeah,
Call out open spaces and make sure that the
Yeah.
line is good.
yeah,
空いてる場所をコールさせる。
Calling out names.
yeah.
名前を言
Perfect,
わせる。
perfect. So I reckon in all of this you can create a little coaching mind map for yourself.
ここに関して皆さんの頭の中のコーチングのイメージというものを作れると思います。
So we've got our catch, pass, support skills here.
まずはここにキャッチパスサポートを入れます。
We've got our defense skills.
こっちの方にディフェンスのスキルを入れます。
We've got our breakdown
こ
skills.
っちの方にブレイクダウンのスキル。
We've got our set piece skills.
こっちの方にセットピースのスキル。
We've got our kicking skills.
こっちにはキッキングスキル。
And then all of those involve communication
これ全てに関してはコミュニケーションが必要となっています。
and teamwork.
とチームワークが必要です。
And then the values we want to have, we had
そこに
discipline,
関するバリューとしてはディシプリン、
we had respect.
リスペクト。
What else did we have?
その他何ありましたか？
We missing out any values
なん
there?
かバリューでないのがあるんじゃないでしょうか。
Integrity, yeah, yeah.
規律性。
Okay, so that's a pretty comprehensive map there.
これ結構充実したマッピングですね。
So you want to be coaching catch pass skills, defence skills, breakdown skills, set piece skills, kicking skills. Everything involves communication, teamwork, and then your key values are discipline, respect,
こ
and
れそれぞれの
integrity.
スキルを構築しないといけないですと。で、コミュニケーションが全てをつなげている。
So how do you fit all of that in a session?
それをどうやってセッションに全部まとめてやるんでしょ
So
う
I'll
か。
tell you the most interesting thing that's happened
一番面白い話があります。
in rugby
ラグビー
is that the game's went professional in 1996.
1996年にプロフェッショナルになりましたね、ラグビーは。
So when I played rugby
私がプレーした時には、
as amateur, we trained Tuesday, Thursday night
火木練習しました。
for 2 hours,
2時間練習しました。
4 hours.
4時間。
And you do your weight training by yourself.
ウェイトトレーニングは
So I
自
used
主
to
的
do
にやって
weight
ました。
training before I go to school and work.
学校に行く前と、仕事行く前にウェイツやってました。
Now you're a professional team.
プロになって、
How many hours a week do you think we train?
何時間ぐらい練習してると思いますか？
Have a guess.
と
30? What did you say?
That's
35.
35。
That's a big week, mate.
1週間ですね。
That's a big week. So I'm talking about on the pitch.
グラウンドでのことをお話します。
20 hours.
20時。
Okay, going down to 20. What do we reckon? Someone up the back there. 2 hours. Yeah. Be lucky to do 2.5 hours.
2時間半
So training time's gone down,
トレーニングの時間が少なくなりました。
and we still have to do all these things.
ただ一方で、あれを全部やらないといけないです。
Sorry, next one.
Communication. See
コ
what
ミュニケー
happens?
ションがないとこうなるでしょ
See what happens?
う。こうなるんですよ。
That's all right. No, we can. You got a picture in your head?
メジャーです。
Sorry.
Why is it going down to 2.5 hours?
なんで2時間半
Because the game's so physical now.
ゲームがあまりにもフィジカルだったの
So
で、
if we play a test match on a Saturday, we basically can't start training till Tuesday.
players
are so sore.
火曜日にならないと練習できません。
And so the amount of training we do now is less,
トレーニングが少なくなり
and
ま
we
した。
still have to do all of those sort of
一
things.
方で全部あれをやらないといけないんですよ。
So in terms of your team, how many hours a week do you have to train?
あなたたちのチームは何時間トレーニングしてますか？
Hour and a half.
1時間
So
半。
in an hour and a half, how do you fit all of that
1時
in?
間半であれを全部どうやって
That's the greatest challenge you've got as
そ
a
れが
rugby
一番の
coach.
チャレンジです、コーチとして。
So I'll go back again to what we started with. Know the strengths of your players.
なので戻ります。各選手の強みを
Know the strengths of your players.
分かるようにしてください。
Individually and collectively.
個人、それだとチームとしての強み。
Decide on the style of play.
こういうスタイルのプレーを決めてください。
And then you have to train it.
それでそれを練習する。
So style of play, what are your key fundamentals?
スタイルとしては基本は何でしょうか？
And then how do you put those fundamentals into
その基本を
a style of play?
どうやってそのスタイルのプレーに切り替えるか。
That's the greatest challenge for you.
それがコーチとしての一番のチャレンジです。
Greatest challenge.
一番のチャレンジ。
So you need to be able to attack.
なのでアタックはできないといけないです。
You need to be able to defend.
ディフェンドもしないといけないです。
You need to be able to keep the ball going, which is your continuity.
連続
And
的
you
な
need
プ
to be
レー
able to contest.
あと競い合えないといけないです。
So how do you do that
それをどうやってやるんでしょうか？
effectively? Well, I tell you, no one really knows.
誰もわからないですね。
But what you can do
もうできることとしては、
is be very good in this area.
このところを一番よく
Understand the strengths of your players.
各選手の強みを知ること。
Understand what they need.
で彼らたちは何が必要としている
What
のか
they
分かるこ
need, not what you want to give them.
と。彼が必要としていることを
What do
彼
your
たちが
players need?
あげたいものではなくて、選手が必要なものを
And generally speaking, it's going to be more on the collective than the individual because you just don't have time to do it.
全般的な
And you have to
団結
educate the players to do their own skills individually.
から各個人選手たちが自分で練習して向上心を高めることが必要です。
I was talking to Fumi Tanaka the other day
先日、文田中と話してました。
on Monday, and he was saying at the age of 8, he started practicing passing by himself at home.
自分で田中選手は家で一人でパスの練習を始めました。
By himself.
一人で。
Because you don't get that opportunity of training to practice it.
で練習のグラウンドでそういうチャンスがないから。
So if you want your players to be good, and they all want to be good.
各選手をうまくさせるために。
Every player wants to be good.
それぞれの選手みんなうまく
Some
な
of
りたい
them
です
want to be good because they want to play at the highest
み
level.
んなはもう一番のトップレベルでプレーしたいからうまくなりたい。
Some of them want to be good because they want to have fun.
で楽しんでる選手もいるのでプレーしてる選手もいます。
But they all want to be good.
ただみんなはうまくなりたい。
And then you've got to encourage them to find a way to practice.
そうやってうまくなるための練習を教えるのが
So say for instance, what's your name there? What's your
名前はユキ
Can someone?
Nikki.
Nikki. So say Nikki wants to be good at passing.
ミキがじゃあパス
So
うまくな
Nikki,
り
you
たい。
come up here.
じゃあちょっとこっちの方に来て
Can
く
you
だ
come
さい。
up
こ
here?
っちに来てくだ
I'm
さ
not going
い。
to eat you. Don't worry.
食べませんよ。
I've already had breakfast.
もう朝ごはん食べ
Right.
まし
So
た。
if Nikki wants to be good at passing,
今パスが
if she does 10 passes every day at
毎
home,
日パスを10回したら家
10
で
passes.
家で10回
So
毎日。
is that your father?
お父さんですか？
Okay. You got a mother?
お母さんですか？あ、it's at home。
So if you practice passing to your mother, 10
じゃあ
passes a
家
day.
でお母さんに毎日10
Every
回
day.
パスして、
So that's 70 a week.
それは1週間で70回です。
70 times,
70
how
回。
many weeks is there in a year? 52.
1年
That's
50日。
3,500 plus passes.
3500のパス。
Imagine in a year how much better you can get by
1
doing
年
10
で
passes.
それやったらどれだけ上手くなるか分かりますよね。
And that's what you've got to encourage your kids to do.
そういうのを
Because
それぞれの
that's
選
the
手たち
only
には
way
ね
they can improve their fundamental skills.
そこの基本的なスキルをうまくさせるためにはそれしかないです。
And then as a coach then,
でコーチとして
you've got to find a way to coach attack effectively, defense effectively, continuity and
アタッ
contest.
ク、ディフェンス、コンティニューティ、コンテストをどうやってコーチするかっていうのを考えるんです。
And I always use a spectrum.
私は、スペクトラムマッピングですね。
Where you have drills here
ここでドリルを、
and games here.
そっちの方に試合。
So the more experienced your team is,
チームが経験を積むことによって、
the more you have to coach down this area.
こっちの方のコーチングを増やすね。
The more experienced your team is,
もっと
the
経
more
験
you
を積む
take them down that area.
こっちの右側の方に、連れていかないと。
Now drills are simple, repetitive
ドリ
practice.
ルは、簡単なもう毎
That
回
have
繰
to
り
be
返す
progressively harder.
でもっともっと難しくする必要がある。
So it might be a 2-on-1 attack drill. So you've got a 9 here,
2対1のスキルを
2
やっていく
attackers, 1 defender. So they practice 2-on-1.
2対1の
So that's a fundamental attack
これ
drill.
は基本的なアタックの、
So then
スキ
you
ル
build that up into
で
2v3,
それをさらに2対3、
3v4,
3対4
and then you play a game.
それで1ゲーム試合に持っていく
And if I was coaching at your
と。で
level,
私があなたたちの
I'd
レベルで
always
コー
be
チしたら
starting each of those
私
areas
はまず
with
は
that
こ
drill,
っちの、
where I'm checking the
こ
fundamental skills of the players.
ちらの2対3とかのスキルと
But
か
as
取れ
soon
る
as they've done it, I'd move on.
で、1回できたらすぐに次のものに移る。
Why would I move on?
なんで次のものに移ると思いますか？
So remember when you were at school?
覚えてますか？学校にいた
Who
時。
can remember when they were at school?
学校にいた時覚えてる人。
Renee can. She's young enough to remember. Anyone else can remember? Yeah. So remember you started in primary school.
小学校の時に覚え
You
てます。
started your times table.
掛け算やったの覚えてますよね。
Remember 1 times 1,
1×1、
knee times knee,
2×2、
sun, sun,
3×3、
yong, yong,
4×4、
go, go.
5×5。
What did the teacher do? Every day he'd move
先
on.
生は何しましたか？どんどん進んできましたよね。
So why do I see rugby coaches keep doing the same drill over and over again?
なんでコーチ、私が見てる限りコーチたちは同
Doesn't
じのを
make any
毎回して
sense.
ます。 わかりま
Doesn't
せ
make
ん。
any
全
sense.
然わかりません。ロジックはわかんない。
But I see coaches do it all the
コー
time.
チは毎回やってるのを見て
So
ます。
they do 2v1 every
毎
week.
回2対1だけをやる。
Every week.
毎週2対1し
Kids
かやる。
never improve.
で、それからうまくならない。
I saw Suntory do a 3-on-3 drill.
サントリーの方で 3
They've
対
been
3をや
doing
って
it
る
for
んです。
20 years.
それも20年間ずっとやってます。
Right? Since I first went
私
there.
が最初行った時から
3v3.
3対3。
And they're still doing it.
それまだ今でもやってる。
And the players do it perfectly and they still keep practicing it.
うまくなってるけど
And
ま
these
だや
are
ってる。
professional coaches.
彼たちはプロフェッショナルのコーチなんですよ。
Every time
毎回
you can do something, you've got to move on.
すぐなんかできるようになったら次のところに移ってもっと難しくしましょう。
Because the only way you learn is when you're uncomfortable.
学ぶためにはやっぱりそこ緊張感っていうのがない。
You don't learn when you're comfortable.
落ち着いていたら何も学びません。
So again, go back to your primary school, right?
小学校の時覚えてください。
And you do your 2x2 tables.
2×2 をや
Then
っ
next day you do the 2x2
て、次の
tables.
日も 2×2
Then
に
the
なって、
third day you do your
次の
2x2
また
two
2×2 にな
tables. Then the fourth day you get the breakfast and you say, Mum, I don't want to go to
って、
school today.
学校行きたくなくなりましたと言いますよね。
Because it's boring.
つまらないから。
So why do we do it to rugby players?
ラグビーの選手ってなんでそれと同じこと
Keep
する？
making them learn.
とにかく
You've
学ば
got to
せ
make
るように
them
します。
learn. And to do that, you've got to make them
それをするために
uncomfortable.
は緊張感、
And part of that is having failure.
それは失敗する必要もありますよね。
So remember that.
覚えておいてくだ
So
さ
I want you to remember, always move from drills to
い。
games.
ドリルからゲームに移るようにするように覚えておいてください。
Keep changing the drills.
常にドリルを変えるようにしてください。
So for instance, a 2v1 drill,
例えば2対1の
they can do it coming around.
外側から回るような形でやる。
They can do it starting in different
で違う
positions.
ポジションからスタートする2対1もで
You
きま
can
すよね。
change the number of defenses straight away. You can change it all the time.
常に変えることが
So
で
the
き
big
ます。
thing you can always change is numbers and space.
人数と場所、スペース、空間をこう変えることによって毎回変えられますね。
Because the only difference between playing rugby at the under 8 levels and playing test match rugby
8歳以下とプロのテストマッチラグビーの違いは
is the time and space.
時間とそのス
The
ペース
higher
が
level you go, the quicker things are and the less
上がれ
space
ば
you
上がる
have.
ほど時間が少なくなってスペースが少なく
So what you're always trying to manipulate in drills is numbers and space.
ドリルの中では人数とその空間、スペースを変える。
And then you try to create games that replicate those
で
drills.
それで試合感覚でやってそれをドリルをこう
So you're trying to do some attack, trying to do some defense,
で
trying
後
to
で
do some
アタック
continuity,
ディフェン
trying
ス
to do
連続
contest.
性コンテストをやっていき
And
ま
work
す。
on the fact that you have 70% success
70% は成功する。
and 30% failure.
Sorry.
70% success,
30% の失敗。
30% failure. Good training session has 70% success,
いい練習は
30% failure.
70% のサクセスで 30% 失敗があり
So
ます。
when I first came to Japan,
最初日本に来た時
I
には
coached at Tokai University
東海大学をコーチしました。
out in Hadano.
肌の方
We had 120 kids,
で120人の子供がいました。
one coach, me.
1人のコーチ私です。
And it was the best coaching experience I ever
私
had.
のコーチングの中で一番いい経験でした。
Best coaching experience I ever had. And the thing they used to yell out all the time was no miss.
まず毎回彼たちが言ってたのがノーミス。
But in fact, you want miss at
で
training.
もミスっていうのが欲しいんです。
You want failure at training.
失敗してもらいたいんです。
Failure is where kids learn.
失敗することによって学ぶんです。選手たちが学んでいくんです。
So you've got to create a training session where you've got 70% success,
トレーニング作るときには
30% failure.
70% のサクセス、30%
It doesn't matter
失敗
what level of coaching you're doing, that's what you should have.
どのレベルでも変わりません。
If the success is too high, it's too easy.
サクセスが高すぎると
If the
簡単
failure
に
is too high, it's too hard.
失敗が多すぎると難しすぎますね。
And what you should be doing as you progress through the year is that your drills and your games should be progressively getting
ド
harder,
リルとゲームが徐々に難しくなっていくことを目指しましょう。
but you keep that success 70%, 30%
サ
failure.
クセス、失敗の利率を常に70、30にしましょ
Does that make sense?
う。わかりますか？
Yeah, question.
Can I just check? So if you start to see that your players start to success more than 70%, then you move on to the next drill.
Change the drill.
70% 以上になってた
But
ら
if
じゃあ
you
ド
see
リルを
that the failure rate is so high, then you go to easier drills.
Yeah.
Okay.
失敗が多すぎたらちょっともう少しやりやすいようにしましょ
Great question. Yeah.
How have you found that in the Japanese context? The Japanese tend to be very perfectionist to the point
う。
earlier.
日本の
How
中
have
で
you,
こうどう思います
I
か
don't know, instilled that and managed that from the
どうやって
coaches?
それをマネージして
Again, great question.
East
So when I first came to Japan, I'd have players in tears
最初日本来た時には選手たちは泣いてました。
because they didn't like to fail.
失敗したくなかったから泣いてました。
And even yesterday at Suntory,
昨日でもサントリーで
we had a much tougher session.
もっと難しいセッションをやりま
And
し
you could see the players at the end. These are experienced
た。
players.
そして経
They
験のある選手
don't like it. But you just got to keep
気に入ってなかった
talking
です
to them, keep telling them this is how
常
we
に
improve.
話してこのように上手くなっていかないといけないと
Because
話
the
して
one thing in life we know that's true,
人
right?
生の中で一つだけ
The
分かり
one
ます
thing in life we know is true. What's your name?
Henry.
Henry. So Henry, if he trains at this level, right?
エリがここのレベルでトレ
And
ーニン
as
グ
soon
して
as he gets under pressure,
プレッシャーかかったら
as the pressure comes to him,
プレッシャー
he'll drop down to his level of training.
このレベルがここ
Now,
まで
if
下が
his level of training high, he'll absorb that.
高
If
いレベル
his
のトレーニ
training
ング
level's low, he'll drop down. You've got to coach your kids to be able to accept the highest level of pressure.
子供たちにコーチするときに高いプレッシャーでコーチングすることを教えない。
And if you've got little teams, which is the case in a lot of times in Japan,
日本では多いですね。
and you're playing against a bigger team,
でっかいもっとで
that
っかいチーム
physical
だったら
pressure,
そのフィジカルなプレッシャー
the players will go back to their level of training. Now, if you've coached them to absorb pressure and to absorb failure,
ハイレベルでやってた
they'll
ら
fight.
そこで試合の時にはちゃんと戦
They'll
い
fight.
ます。戦います。
Now, when I mean fight, is that they'll give their best.
それを一番
But
最善でや
if
って
you
る
train them to be only successfll in
トレーニングの時
perfect
に
situations, they'll go into their shell.
トレーニングの時に楽な環境でやってるとその時の環境に戻ってしまいますので。
Okay, any questions on that? I'll come to you next. どうぞ。
インジャパニーズ。
どうぞ。
一つ目が1週間に1回の練習で1週間最初の週でできるようになったことが次の週またできなくなっちゃうっていうのをどうすればいいのかっていうのが1つ目で2つ目がチームの中でレベルがすごい差がありますプレイヤーのある選手は 70% できるしある選手は 20% しかできないそれをどうマネージすればいいですか
Okay, so two questions. The first one is when you're training once a week, you do one drill. The following week, they still can't do it. What do you do? And the second question is there are some players who can
So
do.
first question, you have to go to church a lot and pray.
教会に行っていっぱい祈りましょう。
Well, that's going to happen.
それありますよね。
When you're only training once a week, it's difficult.
週に1回しかやらないときにはそれしょうがないですね。
So what I would do with that,
例え
I'd
ば
give them.
私だったら
So say for instance, if I use this 2v1 drill as an
2対1の
example,
ドリルを使って考えてみましょう。
I do that at the start of every session.
このセッションのスタートでまず
So I give them some success,
まず最初にできるものをや
and
り
it
ま
might take 3 weeks.
す。でそれ3週間かかるかもしれないです。
But as soon as you get to the 3 weeks,
3
then
週
you
間目だっ
move.
たら次のものに移る。
Because you have to give them some success.
なんか毎回サクセス成功できることをこう経験させないと。
So you might stay on the same thing for a while there.
でしばらく最
in
初
that
毎回
situation.
最初同じことをやって
And go to church and pray,
で教会行って祈
and
り
they're
ましょ
going
う。
to get better.
The second question is you have players who can do the 70-30, but there are other players who are probably more higher failure rates. What do you do when there's like the difference in player levels?
Yeah, we've got to make a decision.
Like,
You know, that's a coaching decision whether you go with the highest level or you stay with the bottom level.
高いレベルでやるのか、下の方のレベルでやるのか。
And that'll depend a little bit about the culture of the club and the culture of the organisation.
によりますね。
Yeah, if you want to be a good team,
いいチ
then
ー
you
ムが
go
出
with
た
the
ら
highest level.
高いレベルでいかないといけないで
If
すね。
it's more about participation and enjoyment,
それよ
then
り
you might stay with
ク
the
ラブと
lower
して
level.
参加の方がもっと重要であれば、まあ、低いレベル
But
のところ
even
でしょう
that, if you stay with the lower level, at some stage you've got to
た
raise it.
だ、まあ、低いレベルでやったとしても、ある時点では
Because
上げない
otherwise
と
you
いけないですね
lose
じゃ
the
ない
top
と
guys.
いい選手たちがいなくなってしまいます。
That makes sense.
わかりますか？
Yeah. Okay, great question.
Yes,
Right,
yes.
have any other? Yes.
他に
Scotland, I don't like Scotland.
スコットランド好きじゃないです。
So I just want to touch on the strengths of the player. That is the starting point after the train of team, right? But could you give us a hint, like how we can find that the strengths of the players?
どうやって選手の強みを
The kids are growing, right? So
わかりま
sometimes
す。
debit is not something like important for the next day or week later, right? So can you give us a hint how we can find the strengths of the players?
どうやって選手の強みを見つけられます
Well,
か？
I think you've always got to test them. Like
I'd say
I'll
test をしないといけない。
try today. I'm going to have a team out there that I don't know.
今日これからわ
So
からないチー
I
ムがい
need
ま
to
す。
quickly assess their catch pass
そこで
skills.
彼すぐにキャッチパスのスキルを
So again, you need to have some sort of benchmark drill that you do,
なんだか自分のベンチマークを作らないといけないです。
where you sort out what level they are in terms of catch pass,
それぞれの選手
what
たちの
level
レ
they
ベ
are in terms of defence.
ルをディフェンスとかのレベルとかも
That'll give
わ
you
か
an
らない
idea of where they're at, and then you need to find out how you remediate the players, how you can push other players forward.
そこでどの選手をどういうふうにこうトレーニングして
Again,
うまくさせる
very good question.
いい質
Very
問
good
でした。
question.
ありがとうございます。
I'm taking care, I'm coaching especially 5 or 6 years old, the younger.
私は5、6歳の幼児をコーチング
And
しています。
the thing is that the problem is, that age is a little bit difficult to think each other person.
その年齢だとちょっと
So everything,
難しいですよ。
I, my, me. So
Yeah.
give me a
全部
ball, give me a ball, give me a ball. Right?
僕々の
Yeah. So
世界になります。
how do I teach? If I'm trying to teach this situation is better to pass to the other person, but that generation, that age is still like thinking about only myself. So think about it like
その5、6歳の年だとやっぱりみんな自分のことしか考えてなくて、それをどうやって変えていくべきなのか、変えるべきなのかっていうところです。
Got no idea.
わかりません。
But I can remember a story about when I first started PE teaching.
私最初の体育の教師した時
So first practical teaching, I had 5 and 6 year olds.
最初5、6歳の子供がいました。
And I tried to teach them like a catch pass
キ
session
ャ
with
ッチパスを
basketball.
しようとしました。
And they were running around everywhere, running in
い
the
ろいろ走り
toilets.
回ってトイレ行ったりとか、
And I remember the supervising teacher said to me, he said, next time you have them say, right, you've each got a puppy dog. Imagine the ball's a puppy dog. Look after the puppy dog.
教わられたのがボールを子犬とイメージしてください
And
と
he
教われ
said, you've got to
て、
give your puppy dog to someone else
で
now
子
to
供
look
たちに
after.
じゃあその子犬を違う人に渡し
So then
て
we practiced passing.
やってくださいって言ったら、子供たちがそ
It
れ
was
に
a fantastic class.
それがうまくいきました。
So I think you've got to use some imagery
だから
with
イ
them.
メージ、子供たちにイメージ作りを
You know,
作るのは
they want to
重要
have
で
the
しょう。
ball,
ボール
so
欲しがりますけれど
find
も、
ways of getting them to look after the
その
ball,
ボールをどうやって面倒見
and
さ
then
せるかっていう
find fun ways of them to
楽
share
しい
that
方
with
法で
someone.
そのボールをこうシェアする方法を考え
And
て
then
ください。
then I'd start off with just thinking off the top of my head here. I'd start off with just passing. Don't worry about forward or back.
まずはもう
Pass
パ
the
ス
ball
だけ、後ろ、前とかも
and
関
then
係な
find
く。
some way to reward them to pass the ball backwards.
で、なんかボール後ろにパスしたら何だかそれをこうご褒美を渡
But
す
the
とかなんか
thing
考えてく
that
ださい。
strikes me, and I did a little bit in England of coaching young kids. That strikes me, the young kids that coaches never teach.
コーチがまあ
The
小
thing
さい
you've
子には
always
コ
got
ー
to
チ
be
しな
able
か
to
ったと。
see, could you just stand up for me? We're going in that direction. Okay, so that's the coach there.
ここはコーチです。
If I'm the next support player,
私が
I've
サポートプレイヤー
always
だったら
got to be able to see the number on his back.
常にこの
And
選
that's
手の
what kids
番号を見れ
remember
るんで
that
す。
really well.
で子供たちはそ
So
れをよく
if
覚えま
I'm
す。
here now, I can't see the number on his back. I'm not in a position to receive the
私が
ball.
ボールをもらう
But if
場所
I'm
ポジショ
here
ンになり
now
ま
and
す
I can see the number on
ここ
his
にいれば
back,
彼の
I'm
番
in
号
a
が見え
position
ま
to
す。
receive the
で、
ball.
ボールを取るポジションにい
So
ます。
I think that's a really powerful coaching
それは
tool.
すごいいい
And
コー
it
チング法だと
relates,
思います。
relates to all players.
すべての選手に当て
Like
は
the
めま
big
す。
thing in support play, you've got to be able to see is the number on the player's
サポ
back.
ートで一番重要な
If
のは
you're
前の選
here,
手の
you're
番
not
号が
in
見え
a
ないといけない
good
です。
support position. If I'm here now, I'm in a
ちょっと後ろ
fantastic
に立てば
support
素
position.
晴らしいポジショ
And
ンに
now I
立
can do anything. I can take a
ます
pop pass, I can take an offload, I can clean out.
クリーンアウト持ってき
So
ま
it's
す
a really important point. Great
とても
question
いい質
and
問です
really important point.
重要
And
なポイ
on
ントで
that,
す
like teach young kids to catch the ball
ちっ
early.
ちゃい子供に関してはボールを早
Don't
めに取
allow
る
them
こ
to catch the ball
と
here.
こういうふうに
And
腕の
again,
ところで取るのは
that's
教えない
that
でください
success failure rate.
これはサクセスフェイリ
So
ア
you,
に引っ張り
can,
ま
you
す
should never see kids catching the ball here.
こういうふうなキャッチするのは子供たちには教えないでください
Because if they catch it here when they're 5 and 6,
こういうふうにキャッチ
when
した
they're
ら
15, 16, they'll catch it there. Because that's
15、
their
16
habit.
になった時にこう
And
いう
then
キャッチに
basically you
なっ
can
ちゃい
never teach them how to catch and
ます
pass.
それでそこからもう
So
キャ
it's
ッチ
really
パスを
important.
教えら
It's
れちゃい
hard
ます
because they don't want to catch there.
難しいですね
That's
みんな
uncomfortable.
ここでパスするのは
But
嫌が
that's
るの
what
で
you've got to teach them.
それを教えないといけないです
Okay. So we're getting some good questions now,
いい
guys.
質問が来てますね
Someone else, yes? どうぞ。
さっきちょっと70%の話に戻るんですけれど、限られた人数、時間の中で、できるだけこう 70% に早くみんなのレベルアップをしたいというふうにいろんなアプローチをする中で、有効なアプローチの仕方、練習を止めて一回考えさせて、次にチャレンジさせてみるとか、その 70% まで持っていくサイクルのサイクルを短く引き上げるようなアプローチの仕方がもしあれば教えてください。
In order to achieve that 70-30 success value of raise, what's your recommendation in terms of trying to get players quickly to the 70% success raise? Do you have any sort of suggestions in coaching methods?
You always, the standard you want, you've got to have a clear picture in the player's head. So,
選手の頭の中でちゃんと何が必要なのかっていうのをイメージさ
so
せ
you've
て
got to model the behaviour you want.
どういう行動を取ってもらいたいのかをこうモ
So,
デ
for
ル作らな
instance,
い
catch pass. What do I want? I want to catch early. Catch early means that I catch before my midline. So I'm catching there. So you've got to make sure the players understand that, model it. And most players learn by seeing. They don't learn by talking.
選手たちには例えば今のキャッチパスのところでは前に取らないといけないということを見せないといけないです
So there's a lot of science in the world that says
科学的に
the information I'm giving you now,
今私があなたたちに渡して
you
いること
probably
は
only absorb 7% of it.
ただ 7% ぐらいしかあなたたちは分かってないんでしょう
That most of you will be learned by doing and seeing.
実際にやらないと分からない
So with kids particularly,
特に子供た
when
ちに
you're
関しては
talking,
話すときに
keep your expressions really short.
話す内容を短くしましょう
So really short, sharp, image type expressions. So early catch,
イメージを作って
demonstrating,
あるキャッチであればそれを見せる
demonstrating, rewarding good behaviour.
うまくいけばそれを
Players who aren't able to do it, find a way they can do
でき
it.
ない選手がいれば
An
それを
early catch for some might be here and some might be here.
いろいろなキャッチの場所がある選手がいる
Don't be absolute particular on technique. It's the concept it's the intent that's important.
コンセプトとその意
So
思
the
が一
intent
番
of
重要です
catching early is if I catch here now, early, I've got time to pass.
私がこう
If I
前で取れ
catch
ば
late,
すぐパスで
it
きま
gives
す
me less time to
こ
pass.
こでパスが受けたらパスする時
So
間が
coach by the intent, don't coach by absolute technique.
テクニックだけじゃなくて意思を
Does that make
それ
sense?
でやりましょ
Reward, praise,
ういろいろ褒めたり
keep varying the practice,
練習を
but
変え
make
たり
it clear in the head of the standard that you
選手たち
want.
の頭の中でそれがクリアにさせるようにコーチングする必要があります
Okay, does that answer your question?
答えになりますか
So Shibuya Roboto are very inclusive, and even in under 12s we have absolute beginners and some have been playing 5-6 more years. So any drill we do under 12s, I will probably have some near 10% and some at 100 when I first started. So that's how I go. And the way we get around that is on the individual feedback. I don't know where you stand on. We tried to set up drills where we're lucky to have a few coaches, and we run the drills and we try to give that one-to-one feedback, even if it's just a quick sentence after. Where do you stand on the power of that individual feedback, particularly for technique?
Yeah, massive.
Right.
So important.
Yeah.
But again, the feedback, make it more image-like.
Yeah.
Short expressions, But fantastic. So if you can do that, that's even better.
私のチームの中でいろいろなスキルの人たちがいますけれども、それを個人個人でフィードバック、評価することによって効果が出ると思いますけれども、どう思われますかと。で答えとしては3つ重要ですね。1対1のコミュニケーション、評価、イメージ作りっていうのは非常に重要になっています。
So again, catch pass, you want to catch early,
キャッチパスで
run straight,
早く取る。で、まっすぐ走る。
and then pass.
Then
And
pass.
passing, the only thing I worry about passing
パスで
is hands go to the target. Don't worry about anything else. Whether they start there, whether they start here, whether they start here, it doesn't really matter. As long as their hands go to the target.
手がターゲットに向いてればいい。
So what we always talk about is coach the end point of the skill.
いつもコーチしてるのがスキルの最終着地地点をコーチしようとします。
Because that affects what they do. So
そ
the
れ
end
が最
point
終的
is
にやること
if
に
my
影響
hands
す
go
る。
to the target,
私の手がターゲッ
then
トの方に
generally
向いて
I've
れ
got
ば
a pretty good chance of getting the ball there.
ボールがそこに
That's
行
all
く
you're
チャンス
worried
が
about.
高めますね。それしか気にしないです。
Catch
気にしません
early, hands to
ボー
target,
ルを早く取っ
and
て
then follow your
手
pass.
がターゲット
Support
に
your
でそれの
pass.
パスをついていく。
And when I mean
ボールを
support
つ
the
いていく
pass again, I support the pass, I can see the number on his back.
で常に前の選手
And
の
that's the
背番号を見る
fundamentals of catch
それ
pass,
が
catch
キャ
pass
ッチパス
support.
の基本ですね。
And then defense,
ディフェンスに関しては
get your body, you got to stop the person, get your body in front.
選手を止める人じゃないんですね。体を
You've
前
got
に
to
置かないといけないです
track the player. So
選手をついて
generally with kids again, in defence you want to make sure they only give them one side. So if you're running at me, what's your
私
name?
に関しては
You're gonna try.
Yeah,
Yusuke.
Yusuke.
Yeah.
Yusuke runs at me. I want to track to give him one side.
私は
So
彼が走る方向は一つ
defensively, you
にな
don't
る
want
よ
to
う
be in
に
this position. You want to be here. So
Position
you're
を決めて
basically telling him to go in that.
右側にしか
And
走れ
then
な
I
いんで
want
す
to be getting my foot as close in
で
as I
足を
can.
一番
Body
体
in
につけ
front.
て
And
体を前にして
then the kids will work out how to
で
tackle.
それで子供たちはそれでタックルはやり方分かってるんでしょ
And just with that, one of the most important things in rugby is to keep your body compact.
う。必ず
Because
体
then
を
you're safer, you're much
コンパクトにする
safer.
こと
So everything
そうす
you
ることに
do,
よって
so
安全
catch
にな
pass
る
on compact.
キャッチパスもコンパクトであれば
Everything's tight. When I'm making a tackle, you
コンパク
run
トで
at
タックル
me,
もそう
I'm
です
tight, I'm here.
コン
So
パクト
I've
にし
got
て
my hands up all the time. So you should see kids at training always have their hands up ready.
常に手が前に
Now
あ
I'm
ること
ready,
を
you
準
run
備
at me, I'm ready to make a
できて
tackle.
るように
So
しま
now
す
I'm in there, I'm close,
す
I'm
ぐ
driving.
体
And
に
then the little technical bits,
そういう
for
細かい
some
テクニカ
players
ルなこ
they'll
と
need it, other players they won't. They
選手によっ
just
ては
need the intent.
細かいところ
And
を教えて
again,
いただきたいんですけ
breakdown.
ど
So your breakdown,
違うです
again, my target now for breakdown, all I'm coaching, I'm targeting the hips of the player.
今の彼の腰を
So it's safe, it's away from the head, hips, I'm in tight, I'm trying to hit the player there. So it's exactly like a tackle, targeting the hips. So give them very simple targets to follow, be compact.
簡単な
Always
ター
have
ゲ
your
ッ
hands
トを
up ready to
イ
go.
メージさせるで
So
手を前
training,
に
you
出し
should
て
see people
これ
running
いうの
around
は
like this.
必ず手が前に出てい
Ready to
て
go.
走り回っているのが必要になってくる
Then you can do catch, pass, tackle,
キャッチパ
breakdown
スタックル
skills.
ブレイクダウン全部つながります
Right, any other questions, guys?
他に質問
Big.
Thanks, sir. So you talked earlier on about kids being very sort of self-centric,
Yeah.
not wanting to pass the ball. And we coach 11 and 12-year-olds, so it's sort of moving a little bit into the sort of having a more awareness of their other teammates. But we still struggle sometimes with some kids who just won't tackle. Just won't pass. So they've got the ball, they're running, there's an overlap, they should pass, they don't pass. As a coach, it's really sometimes tempting to sort of berate them, but of course we don't do that. We're all about the kids having fun, and that's one of the great things about渋谷Rugby. Do you have any sort of specific methods by which you can sort of encourage kids to pass the ball?
私のチームだと11歳、12歳ですけども、みんな結構個人主義で、ボールを持ってパスしないですぐ自分で走っていきたがると。
I would always start by saying, what did you see?
まずは子どもたちに何を見たかっていうのをちょっと問いかけるのがいいかもしれないです。
What did you see?
何を見たか。
So after they drop the ball, they don't score the try. Even if they score the try, you still stop.
Yeah.
You talk
ちょっ
to
と
them.
一旦練習を止めて。
So you had the ball here. What did you see? Did you see that? Did you see the support player?
サポートの選手見えましたかと聞いてみる。
So if you saw the support player, you saw the
サポー
defender.
トプレイヤー見てディフェンダー
What do
見
you think
て
you should have done?
今何をすればよかったのかと問いかけてみる。
more and more today, and it doesn't matter what level you coach at, it's more about questioning the players,
選手に問いかけるのが重要です。
and the big thing again is to ask them where their attention is.
選手たちにはあなたの
Because you've
何
got
を
to
考えて
teach
いるのかっていう
players
のを
to see the
聞くのが
game.
重要です。
And a lot of times just that prompting or send a message in their head, well, maybe I should have passed the
ちょ
ball.
っと質問することだけで子供たちがそれを考え
And
ま
then
し
the
た。
second time he does it, he said, right, what did you see? So is that the same as the previous time? What was different this
また
time?
次聞いたときに
So
選手
what
の
made you make the same decision?
前の時、今回の時とか
That's his
状
problem, not
況を
your
考え
problem.
させる。
So let him have the problem,
そ
let
の
him
選
work
手
it
に
out.
考えさせ
And then
て
he's a good enough player, he'll work it out. If he's not,
いい選手であれば
then
自
he's
分
not.
で
You know, you can only just keep
答えを
helping
探
him.
していく。
But never stop trying.
常に
You can always change your play, never stop trying.
Thank you.
Great question again.
いい質問で
Right,
した
we got any other good questions? This is a good group. Yeah, big
グループ
fella.
ですね。
Adidas. Like Adidas, mate. Good.
千葉県の印西の泉と言います。ちょっと年間の練習のマネージングのことをちょっとだけ一つだけ聞きしたいんですが。
I'd like to ask a question about sort of training throughout the course of the year.
昔ミスター・ジョーンズがコメントで試合が近づくにつれてヘッドコーチっていうのはだんだん役割が減っていくようなチームっていうのはだんだん強くなるっていう聞いたことがあります。
And you previously stated that as you approach a test match, your training levels or the amount of training decreases as you get closer to a game.
それで私のチームもなるべく6年生のチームっていうのは夏以降は少しずつ自分たちでやらせるようにしてるんですが、うまくいく日とうまくいかない日があるんですね。
Yeah, I coach.
このことは、6年生、12歳の子についても当てはまるようなことなんでしょうか。6年生についてはやっぱり最後までコーチがずっとやり続けた方がいいでしょうか。
I coach grade 6 level kids and I try to implement that same concept. And so once summer approaches, after summer, I try and decrease the amount of training, but some kids don't keep up with that. What is your recommendation in terms of kids of that age group? Should they keep on training leading up to the matches at the same amount, or should they be decreasing training?
I think his question was on
It's the
involvement of the head coach.
Involvement of the head coach.
It's
Decreasing.
Involvement of, sorry, yeah, so.
Or should the children do by themselves?
Okay.
Yeah, well, again, that's judgment. Generally, to get a team to be self-driven and to coach itself, it takes at least 4 years. That's the reality. You have Roger Federer has a coach, or did have a coach.
ロジャー・フェダラーなんかコーチがいましたけれども。
He's the best tennis player in the world because he needed someone to tell him to do the things he didn't want to do.
世界一の選手になりました。
Because if you just let the players
コーチがいないと
go out there, like you see it now, the kids are all doing the things they want to do.
いろいろ子供たちがやりたいことをやってると。
So if you don't have a coach,
でコーチ
they
が
just do what they want to
彼たちも
do.
や
Like
りたいことだけ。
human nature. Like we go out there, some blokes want to sit down, some blokes want to have a cigarette, some people want to have a coffee, and some people want to train. And you'll all do what you want to do. So everyone always does what they want to
自分
do.
がやりたいことばっかりやるので。
Coaches are there to make the players do what they don't want to do.
選手たちにコーチングができる。
Because there's parts of these games that players don't want to do.
選手たちがやりたくないことがあります。こういうの難しいですよね。
It's hard.
難しいんです。
But you've got to get the players to do it if
そ
they
の
want
選
to
手
be
に
good
や
at
らさ
rugby.
ないといけないです。
And they all want to be good. They all want to be
みんな上手くなりたい
good.
です。
As I said, when I started in their own way, they all want to be good. And your job is to find out how you can make
コ
it
ーチと
good.
してそれをどうやってうまくならせるために何が必要なのかっていうのを考える必要があります。
You started with this tantalizing question about how the future might look nearly 30 years after the game went professional. What do you think will be different in the next chapter?
ラグビーっていうの
Well,
は
I reckon there's two sorts of
どう
games
進むんでしょうか。どのようなラグビーになっていくんでしょうか。これから。
that you have at the highest level. You have really high
一番高いで
contest
すが
games,
コンテ
and
スト
you
が
have really high
高い
continuity games.
あと連
And
続
those
性のある
two, the
ゲームプレー。
the gap between those two is becoming greater and greater.
このギャップが
Like we played South Africa with England. There was 28 minutes ball in play.
南アフリカの
Everything was
試合
a
ですけど
scrum, maul, and kick.
28分しかプレーしてませんでした。
And
その
I
他
think
全く
the
プレー
game's
がなかっ
going
た
to
です
go。more and more towards that. That you'll have these extremes of the game.
このギャップが大
Real
きくなってい
extremes of the
くと
game.
思います。
And your job as coaches is to prepare the players to play either of those. So to have contest skills and continuity skills.
コンテスト、
Attack skills
連
and
続性、
defense
アタッ
skills.
ク、ディフェンス、
So your job is to
コ
make
ーチとし
sure,
て、
if you're coaching any kid here, your job is to make sure they're playing the game in 10 years' time. Because they love it so
コー
much.
チとして10年後、選手たちまだプレーしていることを目指すのが、
Because you're giving them the skills that allows them to be successful.
その将来、上手い選手になるために、そのスキルを渡しているので、それはコーチとして重要です。
That's your job.
あなたたちの仕事です。
So the future Japanese rugby is in your hands.
将来の日本のラグビーはあなたたち次第です。
So I think we've got to go. We can probably have one more question.
あともう
Yeah,
一つ
last one.
日本語で失礼します。
日本語で失礼します。
すごいシンプルなんですけども、私
Simple question.
9歳の子供たちをコーチングさせてもらってるんですが、
I'm coaching 9-year-old kids.
タックルがうまいと言われるチームぐらいになってます。その世代は。
Our team is like known for strong tackling, getting there.
タックルが強いと言われてるんですが、どうしてもやっぱり2年ほどやってる選手で、4人ほどタックルがなかなかできない。
There are some players who've been doing it for 2 years, but just still can't get the grips on tackling properly.
小学生のラグビーなんでタックルできるできないでチームがかなり変わるので、タックルができない選手、できる選手はこうミックスしてるんですけども、こういった時にどのような指導をしてタックルができない選手を引き上げてくるか。
So what kind of things do you recommend to bring up those kids who are not very good at tackling to become better
Well,
tacklers?
some players will never tackle.
選手がいつまでもタックルしないんですね。
So remember Yamada?
山田選手覚えてますか？
Played for Japan.
日本の
Never made a tackle in his life.
タックル一切しませんでした。
But again, you just got to encourage them to make tackles.
それを
Just
タックルさせるよう
praise
に
them
こ
when they do it,
う教えないといけません。
and even just effort. Praise their effort.
努力を褒めてあげるの
Like
がいいんじゃないですか。
last point I want to make before we break up is
最後に
what's really there's effort versus skill,
努力とスキル、
and we've spoken about skill today, which is really important.
スキルについて話してます。
But as a coach, you've got to make sure you're always praising the effort
ただ
of
コーチとし
players.
ては選手の努力っていうのも
So
褒める必
even
要があ
if
りま
they
す。
get in the position to make a tackle, that's good effort.
ポジションだけ
Praise
に
them.
つ
And
くだ
then
け
they
でも
might be encouraged to
褒めてあげまし
make
ょ
a
う。
tackle.
でその後タックルするようにつながるかもしれません。
But there's no special
特別な
patient I can give you there.
方式っていうのはちょっともうわからないですね。
So guys, I hope that's been useful this morning. So I've got no idea what these kids are. So I'm going to experiment to see how we can get them to effectively play a game of
こ
rugby.
れから今外にいる子どもたちのレベルは分からないですけれども、ちょっとすぐに外出てどのようにうまくコーチングできる
So
かってい
it's
うのを
not
やって
very
いき
good.
た
I
いと思います。
apologise in advance.
すみません、申し訳ございません。
But I'll give it a go.
頑張ります。
All right. Thank you. Coming today.
保護者の皆さん、今日来ていただいてありがとうございます。
So hopefully over the next hour we'll have a bit of fun with the kids.
今日楽しくやっていきたいと思います。
So guys, we're going to play a game to start with because I need to check what skill level you're at.
じ
So
ゃあ
we're
ま
going
ず
to
は
play a
試合をやっ
simple
ていきたいと
game.
思います。それで皆さんのスキルレベルを確認していき
So
た
I
いと思い
want
ま
you to
す。
find a pair, someone your same size.
じゃあ大体同じサイズの人2人組になってください。
Okay. So we're going to play a game, guys.
試合をします。
So the game's pretty simple.
簡単です。
So we're going to start off with your knee, aren't you?
2番ですよね。
Knee's going to have the ball.
2番がボール。
Every time you catch the ball, you've got to call out the number of passes.
毎回ボールを
So
キ
you
ャ
throw
ッチ
the
したら
ball itchy,
番号
knee,
を
and you've got to keep the ball away from the opposition.
で相手からボールを取られないよう
Every
にしま
time you
す。
catch, you've got to touch the ground and
毎
then
回ボール
pass
を
the
キャッチした
ball.
らグラウンドにタッチしてそれでパスする。
And you can't pass it back to the same player.
で同じ選手にパスしたらいけません。
Got it?
わかりましたか？
And you can go anywhere you want.
どこに行ってもい
You
い
can
で
go
す。
on top of the mansion if you want
建
to.
物の上に行ってもいいですよ。
Okay, you can go on top of the clubhouse, doesn't matter where you go. You can go back to
新
Shinjuku,
宿に戻ってもいいですよ。
doesn't matter where you
ど
go.
こ行ってもいいです。
As soon as the ball touches the ground, then you guys get the ball,
ボ
and
ー
you've
ル
got
が
the same
グラウン
job.
ドに落とされたら サイドが変わります。
So for the coaches, we're going to do a communication drill to start.
じゃあコミュニケーションというですね、コーチたち皆さん。
Okay, when we get them communicating to each other.
コミュニケーションをさ
So
せることが
before
で
you
きる
start, guys, I want you to make a little circle. Make sure you know each other's name.
まずは輪を作ってみんなそれぞれの名前分かるようにちょっとお話
Do
し
you know all your names here?
みんな名前知ってますか？
Get in a little circle. Share your
輪を
names.
作って名前を分かるようにしましょう。早くして。
Okay, make a circle.
Okay, right. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Go Reds, want the ball.
Let's go.
早く。
Okay, Reds have got the ball.
はい、赤チームボール持ってます。
Come in quickly.
丸くなってビビビビビ同じ日だとなんか
Let's jog it in yellows. Come on.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Right. So do you know what your job is here?
何やらないといけないか分かってますか？
Okay, you've got to stop. You've got to try to get the ball off
ボー
them.
ルを取らないといけないですね。
So guys, what are you got to do?
あなたたちは何しないといけないですか？
Keep the ball.
Ball
Move
keep
the
this.
ball by passing it.
パスして。
Okay, you right?
いいですか？
Okay. What's your name? We're going to start with Taiho. You've got to touch the ground first. Then as you pass, that'll be Ichi, knee, touch the ground, Sun. Okay, Yong, right, we've got the idea. Okay, let's start, let's go.
Okay, circle.
Go.
Go, get the yellows.
Go on,
Get in the way, yellows.
Ball. Knee,
Go, guys, go.
Sun, She. Okay, Aka ball,
Aka ball.
Ichi, knee, good. Okay, change, Kiro boy. Kiro boy. Go ahead, get ball. Ichi. Change, Aka ball. Ichi. Go on,
Go for it, guys, go for it.
Go on, fight for it. Good, She, well done, Freddie. Okay, Kiro boy, go. Ichi. Well done. Knee. Okay, so coaches, what are we immediately seeing?
はい、コーチたち皆さん、今見
Can we
て。
get the coaches together?
コーチたち皆さん集まってくだ
coaches?
さい。
Can we get the
集
coaches
まってください、
together?
コーチ。集まってください。
Not much communication.
Okay, communication's almost
コ
zero.
ミュニケーションゼロでしたね。
They're probably nervous.
これまあ緊張してるんでしょ
Okay.
They're bunching up.
う。まあ固まってます。みんな
So
がボ
how
ー
do
ル
you
を。
stop them chasing the ball? You could. That's one way. What else could you do?
どうやってボールを追っかけるのを止めさせる
Looking for
でし
space.
ょう。
Yeah, you could tell them look for space, or let them work it out
ス
themselves.
ペースを見つけさせる。
So
頑張
I'm
った
going to let
ら
them work it out
選
themselves
手た
and
ち
see
に
what
任
happens.
せる。聞いてみま
Okay,
しょう
let's
か。
go. So guys, just before we start, the only voice I hear at the moment is mine.
今聞こえる声は私の声だけですよ。
So I want to hear your voices. Call
みん
out
な
the
の君
name.
たちの声を聞きたい。
You all want to
名前
have
を
the ball,
声
don't you? You all want the
み
ball.
んなボール欲しいよ
So
ね。
get yourself in a position where you can get the
じゃあ
ball.
ボール取れるところにポジショニングを
Okay.
決めましょう。
I'm going to call out who can get the ball. Red, go. Red, go. Go. Red ball, go. Go. Okay, touch the ground, good. Touch the ground. 1, 2, good. 3, good. 4, excellent. Well done. Zero ball, 1. Red ball, touch the ground, red ball. 3, excellent. 4. Brilliant, guys, brilliant. Gives yourself the round of applause. 2, 5, well done. So just come in quickly,
じゃあちょっと来て、みんな入ってきて。早く来て。
come in quickly.
早く。
Come in front of me.
はい、前に来て。
Why do you think that was better?
それなんでもっとうまくいったと思う？
Because people were spreading out more, and the people who had the ball were looking for more options.
もっと
Fantastic.
広がってオプショ
You
ンを
should
もっ
be
と
coach.
広
What's
が
your
って
name?
コーチになるべきですね。
There.
Dale's going to be the next coach.
デールは次のコーチになり
Hey,
ます。
fantastic.
素晴らしい。
All right, so next time we do it,
じゃあ次やる
let's see if we can get even in more space.
次やる
So how do you think you can get in more space?
どうやって広まって
Can someone apart from Dale, Neve? Okay, so keep a position away from the ball. Excellent. So see if you can get in space. Have you girls touched the ball yet?
まだ君たちボール触ってる？
So you got to try to touch the ball, hey?
頑張ろう。
All right, I'm going to let you start with the ball. There you go. Ready, go.
広がって広
Go.
がって。
1. Excellent. Well done. 2. Well done, Dale. Dale, the coach. 2. Hey, Yuki, you play American football.
アメフトですか？
So guys, okay, just come in again. We're going to add one more rule now.
じゃあもう一つルール作ります。 ちょっと早く来て。
So every time you catch the ball, you've got to catch it in front of you.
まずボールキャッチする時には前でボールを取ろう。ここを胸で取るのをやめましょう。
Why do you reckon that's important?
なんでそれが重要？
Dale. No, someone else apart from Dale. Yeah, Freddie.
So it's easier to pass quickly and move more.
Okay, excellent. So in rugby, when you catch here, you're able to pass quickly. Do you think that's right? You don't know. We might be right. All right, so let's give it a go. You got to catch off your chest now. Right, who hasn't touched the ball? Who hasn't touched the ball yet? England jersey. What's your name? Olivia. You can start with the ball. Where you go? Okay, touch the ground first. Touch the ground first. One. Bad luck. Get it out of there. One. Dale, go. 2. 3. Well done. Great catch. 4. Catch off your chest. No, big fella. Where did you catch the ball? Catch out. Reach out. Reach out. Okay, let's spread it. Let's go. Go. Pick it up. My ball. Let's go. Go. Five, well done. 6, great work. Red ball, well done. 2, well done, Karsuki. 3, 4, play that on, Freddie. That was a bounce pass. Well done, Neve. Okay, all right, well done. Do you want to have a break? Drink water? Go and have a drink of water, then come back in a minute. Or try by the other end. So we'll see if they can get into space a bit more. And I'll emphasize early catch.
キャッチを早めに取ることを教えていきたいと思います。
Okay, guys, come in. Okay, that was really good. So we made some really good improvements there. Really good improvements. Remember about early catch? So always got to catch early. Catch in front. Never catch on your chest. All right, always catch early. Yeah? You're eating. Hungry. Okay, so now we're going to play the game. Remember the pair you're with? I want you to get you with your pair now. So I want the yellow. Okay, we're going to play a game called Brumbies now.
Brumbies っていうゲームをします。
Who knows what competition the Brumbies play?
Brumbies っていうチームはどのラグビーリーグに入ってるか知ってますか？
Super Rugby. Okay, so we've got. So this game's a bit hard, guys. So this is going to test you. Okay, so yellow team, you're always playing to the longest end. Does that make sense?
From like here to there?
So if you get the ball here, you're always attacking down that end.
Oh.
If you get the ball here, you're attacking down that end now. Right?
ボール取った場所から一番広がってるところが君が攻める場所。だから今そこで受け取ったけど攻める場所はそっちの方になる。
So you can only mark him. You can only defend him. So now you're in pairs, and the person you're with is the only person who can defend you.
今ペアになってるけれども、ペアになってる人がディフェンダーになる。その人しかディフェンスできない。
Got it?
いい？わかる？
So yellow team's got to move. You can only move the ball to here, and then you've got to pass to a yellow team member.
だから、君はボールそこで受け取ったらここまでしか来れません。
And then the yellow team's got to try to score down that try
黄色
line.
チームの方が向こうでトライ決めないといけない。
Okay, so you can score a try by running
走ることができます。
or passing to a
パ
teammate,
ス
any direction.
どの方向でもいいです。
Okay, and then you score the try, then you come back.
でトライ決める。で戻る。
Has anyone got a question?
質問ありますか？
Yeah.
To stop the person, how do you do it?
Stop touch.
タッチで止める。タッチされたら止まる。
One hand. One hand's
片手
fine.
タッチで OK。
Okay, so it's quite a difficult game, so I'm going to test you a little bit. So you guys can't go past this
君
line.
たちはここの線を通っ
You
たらいけ
guys
ません
can't。go past this
ここの
line.
人たちはここの線は通
So
ったらい
say
け
if
ませ
you've
ん。
got the ball, you've got to come here now and you've got to find a yellow teammate.
ね、ここまで来て黄色の選手を見つけないといけないです。
Got it?
いい？
You probably don't, but we'll play anyway.
ちょっとわからないだろうけどやって
Okay,
みよう
so let's start down that end. Yellow. Okay, so ready? Spread out, guys.
みんな
Spread
広がっ
out.
て広がって
Spread out. Get into space.
広がって
Find your partner. Find your partner. Okay, let's go. Dale, back this way. This way, mate. Well done, well done. Move, move, move. Good work. Good, good. Well done. Excellent. Good. Well done. Fantastic. Really well. Did you get it, Yuki? Touch there. So red ball there. Red ball there. Touch. Drop the ball. Yellow ball. Yellow ball. Well done. Good pass. Excellent. Well done. Did you get him, Yuki?
Yeah, you got
Yuki, you got to yell out, mate. I
言わない
can't
とダ
hear
メだ
you.
よ
Try, try. Red ball there.
ハグしたら言わないと止まらないからね
Easy, go, go. Go. Way you go, way you go. Yellow ball, yellow ball. Go, go. Well done. What is that? Oh, great pass. Okay, let's change. All right, let's have a break. Go and have a drink of water. Come back in a minute.
はい水水
Okay. Is just play a few games to get them going.
最初はまあゲームして
Concentrate on catching early.
集中そのキャッチを早く取ることを集中させる
Probably seen a little bit of improvement there.
少し上手くなった
Again, if I was coaching kids, I'd always start with games like that.
は子供をコーチ
Just
したらああいう
communication,
ようなゲーム
simple
でまず
catch
スタート
pass
すると
games.
キャッチパス
And now I'll go into a rugby game with
で
them.
これでちょっとラグビーの試合の方に移りたいと思い
Any
ます
questions?
なんか質問ありますか
You only ever praise them,
Yeah.
as I observed that,
Yeah.
which is basically what we did too. Do you ever admonish with kids?
Very rarely, mate.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
And very rarely with senior players now.
Right.
They're not like society's different now, isn't it? You know, everyone brings up like I had an easier life than my father. My daughter's got an easier life than me. You know, so every society's different. So I think you've got to try to find their strengths and try to praise them as much as possible.
子供でもシニアな選手でも常に褒めてますと。
And then,
社会も変わってる
then
のを
if
褒め
you
ないと
are
いけない
going to correct them individually on
修
the
正する
side.
必要があれば個人的に1対1でちょっとこう指導してあげるといいです。
Any other questions, guys?
他に質問ありますか
All right, we're going to play a rugby game now, so we'll see how we go.
Game-
All right,
gameしましょう。
here we go. All right, kids, you in? You right? Come in. Come in. Come in. Come in. So now we're going to play the full pitch, guys. We're going to play rugby, but the rules you need to understand. Okay, so we've got a ball.
ボールですかボール一つ
So now, if you've got the ball, Freddie, and you get, I touch you, right? So we'll make it one-handed touch. If I touch Freddie, you got to go to the ground. Go to the ground. No, go to the ground.
グラウンドにこう
And I want you to place it back long.
ボールをプレースすると
Do we know what that means?
わかりますか
Okay, then we need a second man over the ball.
はいで2人目ボールを
And the second man needs to be over the ball and have his head up. Have your head up.
頭を上
Perfect.
げて
So that's what we expect.
これが必要になってきます
All right, where are your hands going to be?
手はどこにあるべきでした
Show me, show me. So can everyone do that?
見えますかこのようにやってください
Does anyone not understand that?
わからない人いる
You right?
大丈夫か
Okay.
な
So when you touch, you've got to go down, place the
タ
ball,
ッチされ
and
た
then you
ら
can play
ボー
from
ル
there.
をこうプレースしてそこから2番
But I'm going to have a second ball,
もうボー
and
ル2つ
sometimes I'm going to use a second ball, and then you react to the second
そ
ball,
の
okay?
2つ目のボールに移らないといけない
You got it? Yes, Dale.
Can the opposition also go over?
No, we're going to let them keep the ball. So there's no contest at the breakdown, all right?
競わない。
Good question again, mate.
ま
Good
ず最初
question
は
again. All right, so we're going to play for about 10, 15 minutes.
10分15分やりましょ
How many tries do you think we can score?
う。なんとなく
What do you reckon?
2つ同時に使う気あるんですね。
はいタッチだよ
Touch there, down. No, 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 no. Show me how you got to place the
ど
ball,
うや
mate.
ってボールをプレースするんでしょう
Show
か
me how you got to place it perfect. That's really good. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. That's excellent. Really good. Okay, when you don't do it properly, it's a turnover. Go, your ball.
ターンオーバーだよ
Play on, play on. Touch there, down, down, one over. Well done, excellent, good stuff. Well done, Dave. Go. Okay, well done.
いやよくできま
Hold
し
it there. No, well done.
た。よくできました。
Okay, just one thing we can improve.
じゃあ1点うまくできるようになりたいと思いますけ
Dale,
れ
which
ど、
direction were you running in?
どっちの方向走ってた？
To the side.
Where's the try line?
Try line
Where's the
どこ？
try line, guys?
どこトライラインはどこですか？
Okay, so we want to run straight.
まっすぐ
If
走
you
ろう。
keep running there, where are you going to end up?
こう走ったらどこ行っちゃう？
In the mansion.
マンション入っちゃうね。
Which apartment do you want?
どのマンション入りたいの？
None.
Top floor? Second
最
floor?
上階？
We keep running there, you're
あっ
going
ち
to be
走っ
in
てもいい
there,
んだよ。
mate. So let's run
まっ
straight.
すぐ走ろう。
Run straight. Okay, your ball. Let's go. Go. There you go. Good pass. Well done. Run straight. Run straight. Well done. Touch there. Well done. Okay, that's fantastic. Why is this boy fantastic?
なんでこれうまいんだろう。
What did he do?
何を
He went over at the right time and did it the right way.
Twice. Not
Guy
once.
over.
Twice he did it.
2回ちゃんとやってきて。
Twice. Fantastic. Well done. What's your
よく
name?
できました。
Okay, you got the ball. Go. Go. Your turn to attack. Touch there. One over. One over. Well done. Well done. Good pass. Okay. Just hold it there. That's not
はい
bad.
ちょっと待ってね。まあいいけど。
Come in. Come in.
はいちょっと
Jog it in.
中
Jog
入っ
it
て
in.
ジョークしてきて。
But what aren't I hearing now?
なんか聞こえてないな。
Yeah. So
コミュ
now
ニケーション。
you've got to call out the person's name you're
これ
receiving
か
the
ら
ball
名
from.
前をコールしてください。ボール欲しい人から名前を
Right.
言ってく
So
だ
what
さ
are
い。
you going to call out, Tai Hey?
なんていうの？ここだここだ。
Eddie. Eddie. Okay. Good. And best is Eddie left or Eddie Hidari.
エディ左。
So I want the name
名前と
plus the action that you want.
あとやること。
Can you remember that? The name plus the action.
名前とそれでやっても
So
らい
you
た
got
い
to
こと。
call out the name plus Hidari to Migi pass, left to
名
right
前
pass.
と左右。
Yeah?
を一緒に
Do
言
you
って
think
く
you
だ
can
さ
do that?
い。できそうですか？
Does anyone know the difference between their left and right?
左右知らない人。
Does anyone need tape to put on their hand?
左手になんかテープつけた方がいいかな。
Dale, does anyone not know their left or right?
I know by that.
All right, put up your left hand.
はい、みんな左手上げて。
Okay, we're all good. Okay, so let's go.
OK、よし。
So we're going to start here. You're going to have the ball. Away you go.
ここからスタート。ゴー。
Yeah, on your left.
Good. One over. Good, good. That's good. Well done. Well, Tai Hey. Well done. One over. Well done, KO. Reiko, great clean out. Well done, well done. Touch there, one over, well done, Tai Hey. Good, good, Will. I love that.
ああ、素晴らしい。いいね。
Guys, that is so much better.
ずっと上手くなったね。
That is so much better. Come in.
はい、みんな来てください。
Just being a team.
今の時間で個人的になってたけれども、チームが作れた
Because now
ね
you're。starting to play like a team.
チームみたいにプレーできるようになってきたね。
Okay, do you want to give it a go for another 5 minutes?
もう5分できるかな。
See how good we can get?
もっと上手くなれるよう
So
に。
remember, what do we got to do?
何をしないといけない？覚えてる。
Call out the name plus.
The,
ネームと
the direction.
Okay,
Number
perfect.
two.
Dale, you're a champion, mate. You're going to coach Japan in
これが
about 15
日
years'
本
time,
の
you know
代表
that?
コーチになるね。15年後。
There's some good people coach Japan, mate. Hey, you could be another one of them. Let's go, let's go. Your ball. Down, Dale, down. One over, well done. Well done, touch there, one over, well done. Well done, big fella, good. Good, well done. Good, one over, well done. No, turn over, I couldn't hear the name there, you got to yell it out.
ターンオーバーだ。
Don't you like girls? You don't like girls. You got to call out their
名前言わ
names.
なきゃ。
Girls.
名前をちゃんと言わなきゃ。名前と方向だね。
Go, KO. Good feet.
Get back.
One over, good call. You call out names.
ちゃんと名前言ってよ。
Oh, great pass, well done. Touch there, one over, call out the name
名
now.
前ちゃんと。
Well done, good, well done, good. Touch there, one over, well done, good. Excellent. Well done. Good. Good. Great. Great. Well done. One over. Well done. Good work. Well done. Good. Well done. Good movement. Well done. Just a bit.
That's a bit there.
What's your name?
名前は
Henry. So why couldn't Henry catch the ball there,
今ヘンリー
guys?
なんでパスキャッチできなかったと思う
Because he was standing right behind Ito.
Right.
すぐ後ろに立った
Because the ball was there
ボー
and
ルはここ
Henry
にあ
was
った
here, wasn't he?
ヘンリーここにいた
So
よ
he
ね
wasn't in a position to get the ball.
ポジションちゃんと受け
So
る
I'm
場
going
所
to
にい
add
なかっ
one
たね
more thing now.
じゃあもう一つルール
If you're the support player, you've got to be able to see the name on the back.
サポートしてる人は
Okay,
選
now
手の
I
名前を
can
見
see
えるところに立っ
Macron
てください
and I can call Henry left. And now I'm perfect position.
ポジションが
Whereas before Henry was here
ヘンリーは今
and
さ
he
っきこ
couldn't
こにい
get
た
the
よ
ball.
でボールもらえなか
So
った
if you're in a support player, what have you got to be able to do? Tell me. What are you got to be able to do?
サポートする選手はどこに立ってないといけないですか名前見えるとこ
Come up close, come
ろちょっと
closer.
もう少し近く来
Because
て
maybe we're not understanding
もう
this.
ちょいもう
Come in, KO, come in quick.
中来て中来て
So first thing we've got to call out the person's name.
まず最初に選手の名前を言わないといけないね
What's the second thing we've got to be able
2
to
番目
do,
は何で
Freddie?
すか
Okay, and how do we get in a supporting position?
サポートの場所
To
どこ
see the back of their jersey.
Okay, see the back of their
前の選
jersey.
手の名前がシャツの名前が見えないといけない
Okay, can you tell me that again?
もう一回教えてくれる
name.
名前?
あとやること
アクション
あと
Excellent.
名前が見えるところ
Okay, so you have to see the name on the back.
名
So
前が
three
見えるとこ
things.
ろに立ってないといけないです3つだねものが3つあります
Okay, so this is the last bit of the game.
これが最後だよ
Let's see if we can score. We're going to score 2 tries, don't we, Henry? Hey?
2つだけ
All right, here we go. Here we go. Go, go. One over. Good. You're in front of the ball again, mate. You've got to get behind the ball. Right, so you were there. Stand there.
そこ立っててそこ
So your position, you're going to work
君
back
の場
here
所はこ
now.
こに立って
Okay, let's play the tackle again. Start it again.
もう一回やろうもう一回や
Give
ろ
them
う
the ball.
ボール渡して
So you're first receiver there.
そこ最初ボールだね
You've got to get here.
ここに立
So
たな
now
い
you can see the name on the
名前
back.
見えるよね
All right, now you get the ball. Right, go.
はいボ
Go.
ール
Yes, yes,
Okay,
well
right,
done.
Surashi.
Good.
Right.
Good, well done. Oh, touch there, touch
はい
there.
タッチ
Hey. Touch, one over. One over, one over.
後ろだよ
Now get in position.
はい
Get
ポ
in
ジション入って
position. Well done, well done. Asahi, get in position,
ポ
mate.
ジションに入れポジションに入れ
Oh, great pass. Great catch, well done, one over. Good work, Kyle. Good work, mate. Touch there, touch there, touch there. One over, one over. No turnover play.
Ah, no,
Ball
but-
name.
ちゃんと
Ball out the name.
名前言わなきゃね名前言わなかったからターンオーバーだ名前は
Cool, cool. Okay, yellow ball there,
黄
go.
色ボール
Touch. Call, call, call. Well
名前
done,
だよ
Freddie. Great work.
ポジションと名前だよ
Freddie, I love that, mate.
レディー素晴らしい
See, Freddie, how you work back to get into position there?
Don't come on,
Your
don't
option down that side. Brilliant, mate. Well done. Well done. Okay, your ball, go.
No.
Oh, there he goes, little Dale. Dale could be the match winning try, Dale. Okay, two goals.
はいゴ
Guys, you did fantastically well today.
ー素晴
Subarashi.
らしかっ
Subarashi.
た素晴らしい
So, but the 3 things we've got to remember for our next training
で
session.
次のトレーニングの時に
So I
覚
want
え
you
てお
to
かない
get
とい
into
けない
pairs
三つの
now and talk to each other and tell each other what the 3 things you've got to
お
remember.
互いこう
Just
話
get
し
in
合って
pairs quickly.
ペアになって3つ何が重要なのか3点話し合っ
Talk
て
to
く
the
ださい
person next to you. Make sure you
トレ
know.
ーニング3つの点何か
Action.
Okay, 10 seconds.
あと10秒。 3つの点で。
Okay, all back together, back together.
はい、みんなちょっと集まって。
So, girls, what's one point that you had?
はい、1点なんでしょうか。
一つのポイント。
一つのポイントはな。
名前一番大事ね。
名前が一番大事だね。
So you got to know the name of your players.
お互いの選手の名前を覚えておかなきゃね。
Because then you're showing respect
リスペクトを
and you're showing you want to be part of a team.
ね、チームの一員になりたいということを見せつけられる。
Okay, Tatsume, second point.
やることを言う。
Action. Hidari, Megi.
左右。
Fantastic. Left, right. Third action.
3点目、3つ目。
See the back of the player. Fantastic.
選手の前の名前が見えるように立つね。
Guys, you improved so much during the
す
session.
ごい上手くなった
You're
ね。
obviously getting good coaching now.
コーチが素晴らしいからだよね。
If you remember those three things.
その3点覚えておいてよ。あれ？どうした？
All right.
大丈夫かな？
So remember those three things, and every time you come to rugby training, see how you can improve in those
毎
areas.
回ラグビーの練習来るときにその3点もっとうまくできるように考えておいてね。
Really well done. I want to congratulate one player
一人
today.
選手ちょっと褒めたいです。
So Dale was the best coach.
今日デールが一番のコーチでした。今日
Reiko was the best cleaner outer.
レイゴは今日の
He cleaned out everything. Absolutely fantastic. So you all did well. Let's all give
みん
yourselves
な
a
すご
round
か
of
ったよ。
applause.
みんな自分で拍手してください。
さあ、質問がありますか？ Any questions?
質問あります？エディに何か聞きたいことあるでしょう？
Will you be here next training?
次の練習来ますか？
I can't know. Maybe. Anything else, guys? Yeah.
How many tries have you scored?
How many tries?
We exceeded the number.
Today, how many we scored?
Not you.
Not too many.
あんまりトライ決めたことない。
Maybe 50 in my whole career. Yeah.
ラグビーの人生で50回ぐらいかな。
Not bad. See, Dale said it was not bad.
デールが褒めてくれてました。
Alright, anything else, guys?
あと他にある質問？日本語でもいいよ。
But the way you moved the ball at the end was fantastic.
最後にボール
Are you
回し
going
よかっ
to Australia?
た。オーストラリアに行きますか？
Maybe.
かもね。わかんないよ。
Australia, Japan,
オーストラリア、日本、
America.
アメリカ。
And like next place, which New Zealand or the Barbarians? Which one do you think they're gonna win?
ニュージーランドやバーベリアンズどっちが勝つ？バーベリアンズでしょ。 一番好きなチームコーチしたのどこですか？
Always loved coaching Japan. Japan was
日本が良
fun
かったね。日本が楽しかったよ。
because we could play really attacking rugby,
日
which
本
is
は
what
タ
I
ッキング
love.
ラグビーがすごい上手くて、それが僕は大好き
All
なん
the
です
teams are good.
まあ全部のチーム
Yeah,
良かったよ。
coaching you guys today was fun.
今日君たちコーチしたのも楽しかった。